What's up, guys? Eric Prey, Focus Fishing Guide Service, Table Rock Fishing Intel. Got another weekly video fishing report for you for Table Rock. It is Tuesday, December the 29th. In the office today, cold, wet, windy, nasty out. Pretty much how it's going to be now through Friday, it looks like. Got some kind of crappy weather coming in. Have been on the water quite a bit. Was on the water both days over the weekend. It's about 4 or 5 days since last time we shot a video. So I do have some info on Table Rock for you. As far as our lake level is concerned, we're at 913.69, which puts us a little bit over, almost a foot and a third, I guess, below normal pool. The core is running quite a bit of water. I don't know if it's to meet electrical needs or if they're actually doing a drawdown. Either way, they are dropping the lake down a little bit, which is probably not a bad thing. Water temperature, it has been dropping. For the most part, I'm seeing 50 to 52 on the main lake. You get up in the river arms, you will see mid 40s, even some low 40s, especially up Long Creek, up Kings River, up the James, where the water's got a little bit more color. The lake has definitely cooled off into the low to mid 40s. It will warm up to, not really upper 40s, but maybe 46, 47 by the end of the day if you have a sunny, calm day. But the fishing's been good for the most part. We're fishing deep, catching fish every day. It's been kind of a challenge, kind of chasing the shad around, but we have been catching fish every day, most of them deep. Best way to stay on top of that, of course, is to become a pro member of Table Rock Fishing Intel. That way you can get access to the daily reports, weekly reports, maps, feature videos, everything that we do to help you catch more fish on Table Rock Lake. So check that out, tablerockfishingintel.com. If you are coming down, so you're going to fish the lower end of the lake, by far, the deep bite's the best bite we got going. You can catch a few shallow, but for the most part, either with a jewel scuba spoon, Rapala jigging rap, or swim bait, or even a drop shot rig, fishing in the guts of creeks, the key is finding shad. And it's the same way all over the lake. If you can find big schools, good groups of shad, you will find fish around them. For the most part, the fish have been suspending, some around treetops, some just on the shad. But for the most part, they're suspending in that 25 to about 55 or 60 foot range. The overall depth really doesn't matter. It's just a matter of finding the shad. When you find the shad, you find the fish, you can get bit, catching a lot of them vertically and catching a lot of them casting a swim bait and even casting a spoon a little bit, casting the scuba spoon a little bit. We've been catching them doing that. That's really been the best bite down there. We have started to see some fish show up on an A-rig, especially down in the dam where it's a little bit clearer water. You're not going to catch the numbers that we're catching deep on an A-rig, but you can certainly catch fish on an A-rig, most of them around standing timber, steeper banks. Keeping the boat 25 to 35 and making, casts to the standing timber, pulling those fish out of the standing timber, that bite will certainly get better. And then the jerkbait bite's been pretty strong too. So, throwing a Megabass Vision 110 or the Speromix stick around that same standing timber seems to be picking up a few fish as well. Again, these shallower fish, you're not going to catch the numbers that we're catching out deep, but you will definitely get bit. You can definitely catch some fish up shallow down by the dam. And go up into the Kimberling City area, same deal. If you can find shad, you can catch them deep. Scuba spoon, jigging rap, Kitech 2.8, drop shot rig, around the schools of shad. Most of the fish are suspended in that, like I said, 25 to about 50, 55 foot range. Overall depth really doesn't seem to matter. Some days they're back in the creeks, some days they're in the mouth of the creeks. The other day we caught them out on the main lake. So really it's a matter, the fish are just wherever the shad are right now. They are feeding on shad, they're following the shad, so you need to find shad to get bit. A-rig bite is starting to turn on there as well. It seems to be more of a main lake or first, maybe third of the creeks where you've got some standing timber on the steeper banks. Again, you're looking for those channel swing banks or even bluff banks. Really seem to be key to catching them on an A-rig. Most of them are hanging around standing timber. And again, shad is key. If you don't have schools of shad around, you're going to struggle to get bit with anything right now. And then the jerkbait bite as well. Same locations as the A-rig, same sort of depths. They're suspended, keeping the boat, 25, 35 foot deep, making casts more or less parallel to the, or more or less perpendicular to the bank, and working it back around those trees. You can get bit catching fish on a jerkbait or on an A-rig right now in the mid-lake as well. Go up into the James, and the James really has the best A-rig bite so far. Don't know if it's because the water's a little bit cooler or how the fish are relating on the main lake to the wood cover, but we definitely caught more up the James on an A-rig than anywhere else. Again, keeping the boat 25 to 35. Main lake and that first third, maybe even the first half of the bigger creeks where you've got some standing timber on some steeper banks or brush piles on a steeper bank. If you've got a big brush pile that you know of that's on a steeper bank or on the point or in a pocket on the end of a steeper bank, I'd definitely throw an A-rig over that. We've been catching fish doing that. Jerkbait bites, the same thing, catching them around standing timber, around brush piles. Most of the fish are coming out of 25, 30 foot of water, some a little bit shallower. If you get some wind, it will push the bait shallower and it will push the fish shallower. So like the other day when it was so windy, you can definitely catch them a lot shallower than you can when it's a calm day. And then a jig bite. That's probably one of the best places to fish a jig right now is up the James and those brush piles. Those same brush piles you're throwing a A-rig or a jerkbait over top of, you can catch the fish with a Dual Pro spider jig out of those brush piles as well. So keep an eye on that too. Up the White, yeah, the deep bite is definitely the best bite we've got going. A lot of fish coming up the White on either a Jewel scuba spoon, Rapala jigging wrap, Kitech swim bait, or a drop shot rig. Again, just like anywhere else on the lake, you've got to find shad. If you can find the bigger schools of shad, the bigger groups of shad, you will catch fish. Most of what I've caught last week were back in the creeks, but as we got towards the weekend, it seemed like those fish that were back in the creeks kind of pushed out, the shad pushed out. They were more to the mouths of the creeks or even on the main lake. But look for the shad. You'll find the fish suspended down 25 to about 50 right now. A few of them deeper, but it seems like those ones 25 to 50 are the more active ones, the ones that are easier to catch. A-rig is starting to work up there as well. It's the same pattern. Look for these fish to be on steeper channel swing type banks, both main lake and in the bigger creek arms, around standing timber, keeping the boat 25 to 35. Throwing it at that standing timber and working it through that standing timber slow. You can do the same thing with a jerkbait as well. Megabass Vision 110, Spro McStick, those are both working around that standing timber. Main lake stuff seems to be a little bit better, but we have been catching them back in the creek arms a little bit too. Guys, it is almost the first of the year. Happy New Year. Bite's been good, fishing's been good. It'll be interesting to see what this weather coming in this week's going to do to it. Probably going to change a few things, probably make things a little bit different. Hopefully it'll drop the water temperature. Most guys don't think that way, but really, in my mind, we really need to have a cold winter. We need a good cold winter to kill off some of these shad, to be honest with you. I really feel like the number of shad we've had in the lake, we haven't had a good shad kill in about 4 or 5 years, and the number of shad we've had in the lake has really kind of changed the fishery, made it a little bit different, made these fish more shad oriented versus crawdad oriented. It doesn't just affect it in the winter, it also affects it in the spring and the summer, where they tend to become more, they become followers of schools of shad versus doing their normal deal like we always have with a jig and a Ned rig and that saying. Not saying you can't catch them doing that, I'm just saying the bite's not as good as it has been in years past when we have had a few less shad in the lake. So I'd like to see the weather get colder and do that. You guys might have noticed sporting a Boatworks hoodie right now. We do have some good news coming, or big news coming for 2021. I am switching boats. I've been running a Nitro for about 5 years. Got nothing bad to say about Nitro. Nothing bad to say about Bass Pro or any of the companies like that, but I have an opportunity to switch up and go into a Camus. So the Camus has been ordered. We'll keep you updated on that. My Nitro is for sale, by the way, if anybody's interested. But we are definitely switching boats, and we are going to Camus. So it should be interesting. Everything I've heard, everything I've seen, every Camus I've been in, I've been very impressed. But we will definitely get you more info as that gets closer. But remember, check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so. Maps, daily reports, weekly reports, feature videos, a bunch of information on there to help you catch more fish on Table Rock. So keep that in mind, check that out. If you're coming down and you want to hire a guide, give me a call. It's Focus Fishing Guide Service. You can reach me at 417-860-4743 or hit my website, focusfishing.com. Either shoot me an email or book online. Either way, I get back to you as soon as I can. But guys, thanks for watching the videos. take a minute to check out Table Rock Fishing Intel if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to hear from you. We'll see you on the water.